Yeah, I have certain observations to make concerning something that I want to do in Africa. The no tree marches or walkathon or whatever. I'll come back to something I've said over and sometimes here, and it is that our activities on the ground, physical activities, not these virtual activities that we are doing, can really be good, can carry a lot of weight if they are done by new friends themselves. And here I would like to say the numbers count to do that kind of carry out that kind of activity. I remember in the days of the corporation how I worked tirelessly to build the corporation, inviting friends and who will invite their own friends for meetings, for intro talks, and all the like. And that is how the corporation has come to be what it is today. But it's unfortunate that we don't want a membership here. And what will hold this I don't know how to call them, whether members or what will hold these people together is some kind of physical come together, just like in the days of the corporation, because we can't be operating without some physical presence, and hope that things would really take root. Yes, and I was just thinking that for what we are planning in planning some matches, works for the natural environment in maybe in Congo, Nigeria, and all the like. What I see is that only new friends can do this activity. Now, this is the mentality in Africa. You cannot just get people interested in something, say come for a work and all the like, and they'll just come. The first impression, oh, it's an organization. Maybe they have a good budget, and after this activity, maybe some money will be distributed. There will be a party and all that stuff. You see, so it is best for members to, if we have a membership, I don't know what other word to use. We have a membership. This will attract a lot of attention, and new friends can invite their friends who are not even who don't yet know anything about the new presentation, and who will in turn invite others, and that is how the community grows. I'm talking about a new community. You see, so I want to just suggest that we look at this issue again, because we need physical presence in many parts of the world for things to actually function well. I don't know what Duane thinks about this.
Well, Charles, you're basically going over the same old policies again. Okay. And all the ideas that you have about doing this again, they really become, they're considerations, but held to, they become blocks. So, give you an idea. I kind of saw, I look at ways to get to the community, and so a couple of months ago, I had this idea that we go to the city councils. Just show up there and just read something. You get 2 or 3 minutes. You just read something, and so we started doing that, and not overthinking it, not thinking this or that, or what are they going to think about us, or this or that, or are we going to be able to say what we want, or what have you. No, it's become very interesting, and we've done about 4 of them now, I would say. We're going to hit every city in Orange County, which I think there's about 34 or 36, and they're recorded, and Kelsey will take some of the parts and make a video out of it, and we'll use that for other things. It's a step at a time. But we've met some interesting people along the way, and even went into a parade, which was a huge parade down here that we didn't know about if we wouldn't have went to the city council. So here's the idea, Charles. Again, when you start overthinking it, then you just block it all. In other words, it's like, well, gee, why do it? It's going to be the same old thing. So again, no, I don't care for the membership idea or to use that idea, because again, this is what other people use, and the consciousness starts to become typically the same. Everybody's a member. Everybody's like in a way like cattle with the membership, etc. Yeah, it's a good idea. You can collect $5, $10, $20 a month or whatever, and so yeah, I see that too. But it's not about that. I would suggest a new group or new community, just like this right here, the Skype groups. We don't call them classes like we did in the corporation. And classes are where basically people sit into rooms and they're instructed. Okay, they have an instructor. With the new wave, the new presentation, etc., this is where people have gone through these things basically, and they're big now. They can make their own decisions, just like adults. Do adults need membership? Not really, but if they want it, fine. So you use the membership idea. I like new group or new community, all right, being part of that. But here's the idea, what I would do with the T-shirts that I gave you, start off, because you can get them very inexpensive. I'm figuring you could probably get them for a couple dollars each. So it's not that much money, but it's not about having a parade or whatever, okay? Just like the Rebazar shirts that we made here, it says, Worldwide Walkathon. Well, we go out there and we just walk ourselves. We just walk around with the T-shirts. That's it. We don't set up any particular parade or event or something like that with. We just wear the T-shirts. So that starts it from there and see where it goes. In other words, step at a time. Just take it in baby steps instead of trying to think that, okay, we're going to take over the whole community and they're going to bring out the military and stop us. Just take it in baby steps. Just wear the T-shirts around. See who comments on them or not, because certain people are going to show up and they're not. This is a new day. This isn't the 60s and 70s when Paul was here. Okay, it was different then. Today, Africa and every place else, it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder. You know that. I get it. So you do it a step at a time, or you do nothing. But this is something that's showing people something, and it says the all-natural environment on it. And I asked Kelsey to make a website with that too, so you'll be on there, and it's a step at a time. And just like what I set up with Eric about the African organizations, I'm not overthinking it. I'm just creating the position and taking it a step at a time to see who shows up. There's the basic idea. Just like kids. When kids go out and play and do things, they're not overthinking it. It's like, oh, gee, let's go out and play and let's build, let's go play in the sand and dig holes and build mountains. And, oh, gee, maybe we'll create a business and a corporation and we'll have a board of directors. And, gee, we're really going to go places. Do kids think like that? No, they don't. And so life is always an isness now. In other words, again, we're in a literal society and everything's to be thought out literally. Even the parents are constantly doing this to their children, giving them Wi-Fi toys and books and all this stuff. Can't wait to get them literalized and don't even see the real part of life itself. So, you have to kind of experiment. So it's not that we're birds in cages anymore with the membership. I don't see that. I don't really like the idea. And that is that people decide to freely step up. This is where they really earn their way. The first part is that, becoming familiar with the new you, reading the books, and then going from there. There's a lot more to it that people don't see, but this is where you wake up to what's going on. This is the whole idea here, and not just another scheduled performance like in the past where you see all these things are not working. They're not working. And so there's a bigger picture here, and it's not about gathering people or how many people we're going to get. I don't look at that. Again, I just do something, wait to see who shows up. The membership idea, just like it's become in the corporation, is go out there and get new members. That's what the religions do, get new members. They feel that the more members they've got, or the more people or followers or worshipers, that, they have this big force behind them. And eventually that force turns into what? Military. It all goes through its transitions. So again, this is not the idea here. And again, you don't have to overthink it. I would say make the t-shirts, take the risk, or don't. Send them to some people or whatever. Just have them wear them around, wear them to school or whatever. They're walking, they're walking for the all-natural environment. They're already demonstrating what they're doing. It's not about they have to walk down the middle of the street and block off the streets. That's not the idea. If it comes to that, sure. Or join another parade, etc. But again, keep it very simple, like the sun shining. See, it doesn't need 1,000 suns there. There's only one sun. So it's one person at a time. And the idea is you create a new community to eventually, if you're interested, to become self-sufficient. That's something to look forward to, but there's no guarantee with anything here because we're in creation. This is how creation is. And again, you look at the world, the business world, etc. Well, they have their big plans, etc. And it's like, okay, we do this, it's going to come out and everything will be fine. Is it fine? You look at the last 100 or 200 years since the world has been built, it hasn't gotten better, it's gotten worse. It only keeps getting worse. What, we got new buildings and new cars, so people are looking at the creative things thinking that, it's gotten better. It hasn't gotten better, it's all gotten worse. People have more stuff to deal with, and now we're in that position, we're in that nowness where, everything is lethal, everything is poisoned. So how did it all of a sudden get better? It never has. So again, a step at a time. And now it's going to take those individuals with a lot of courage to be able to step up and to just do any part of this because most people are afraid. So again, I would just take it a step at a time. We created the idea. I went off of what you said. You can get the t-shirts and whatever really cheap. It's a one color. It's a dark green. Like the environment, and I would just start from there and see what happens. You see? So again, and it doesn't matter who wears the t-shirts. We're all free beings of light. We just need to wake up to that. So again, I don't see any discrimination involved, black, white, or whatever that you know about this or that. Again, everybody has the right to do whatever. So let's see what happens. That's the free will, and that's part of our journey. To discover what's going on here. So we're not set in stone like everything else is that has become self-limiting and created their own personal bubbles. That's all they've done, and now they're all tap-lined in their consciousness. Yeah, and anyone can see it on the real side. You can get an objective view of the whole Earth, and basically everybody's tap-lined, except for us. We're bringing the real light. We're this little speck of light here. But everybody else is tap-lined because they're so self-convinced about everything. And I go through this all the time. I just start something. Ask Kelsey and Val. I don't have any big plan for it. We just start something and let's see where it goes. And, step at a time, things start happening or they don't. Again, people out there have free will. I don't see us as used car salesmen, trying to get members, trying to get people to do this or that. They have to want to do it, just like the real guides stand together. They decide to do that. They have free will. They don't have to, but they decide to do it because they are aware and they see the benefits. So if people can't see the benefits of what we're presenting, well, we can't make them do that. We're not a sales force trying to convince them to do so, because then they're not ready or they don't want to. Just flat out don't want to. They want their own ideas. So respectfully, everybody has the right to decide whatever they want to. And the world, for the most part, is agreeing to the demise of this planet. So again, we have to acknowledge that. That's what it is, and we have to deal with it. So again, just put the T-shirt on, go out there and see what happens. And just forget it and see who shows up, or somebody says something about that. It's like, oh, gee, what is that? There's no guarantee something's going to happen. Now, this is the bigger wake up. It's not like the membership days. That was easy. Those were the babysitting days where people are babysat into ideas and kind of moved around to the little the little workshops and seminars and things like that, going through the process, and then just pay your dues, and then just, go back to your life, because your personal life is first and everything's fine. This is where you put the is first, okay? But how many people will do that and wake up to that? So this is what it is now. And I don't really want to cater to those old ideas, because eventually you don't see it, but the consciousness starts to cave in, just like it has with the corporation. So there's the difference, Charles, and we know this already. So again, you take the risk or you don't. See, it's a risk-taker position. It's not one to where it's all guaranteed. You see, you want a guarantee. There's no guarantees.
Okay, Duane, I want to say something. I want to add that this idea of membership maybe is overblown, misunderstood. We're not going out there. We want to make a presentation of of what the worldwide educators are teaching. We're not looking for membership. We're not looking for members. But you seem to think that anything that is done will be done in the old style, in the old way. No. And if people want to go, if they want to carry out anything, who does that? It is the new friends who do it. You cannot get some passerby and just say, come go and march. First, he wants to know why you want him to partake in this activity. What is it? What are the benefits of him participating? So what I want to emphasize is that we should, in as much as we don't want any membership or anything like that, we should put this idea at the back of our minds that we don't want. We're not like a spiritual group like the days of the corporation where they want members because of the money. But we must build our own community, and building this community doesn't mean that we are looking for members. That's what I'm saying. And if there is any activity that is coming up that we want to engage in, it will be the members, the new members, the new friends who will do it, and it will have more meaning than just calling some anonymous people to do something. So I want to think that we should revisit this idea of going out looking for members. We're not looking for members. We're just presenting the new presentation. We're just presenting what the worldwide educators are concerned with, and not looking for members. And eventually, when anybody steps up, well, he becomes a new member. That is it. If he steps up, you will not force somebody to say to come follow what we are doing. the person will come, draw closer, and learn what we are, what the worldwide educators are saying, and what they stand for, and all that, and becomes interested. When he becomes interested, well, there's no other word we can use here. He's a member. He's a member. But then our goal was not to go out there and involve ourselves in some marketing ploy and all the like. If we don't modify this idea about membership, I think we'll just remain a very moribund group. That's what I think. And if we want to do something, we need people to do it who go out there. You can't just because you have T-shirts or whatever, just go there and say, come, we have this. Who is interested in that? Do they even know what you're talking about? So that is just my idea. So presenting what the worldwide educators are doing to outsiders, to people who are still out there, doesn't mean we are looking for members. We are just doing our presentation. So if we only have it at the back of our heads that we don't want members, so we will not do anything in that direction. How did we have members of the corporation who are now everywhere in the world? Just through presentations. It's Harry and John who have turned it into another thing. But if we go out there and make our presentation or do anything, we're not looking for members to have money from them or go in the old style. That is just what I want to emphasize. So this idea of membership, once we rethink it and know it for what it stands for in the new nowness, I think we will make greater strides. I don't know.
Well, again, Charles, from what I said, the idea is that if you want to do something, this is one idea. Print the T-shirts, give them to the individuals that are interested, and let them walk around with them and see what happens. So, but everything else, no, those are just your ideas, you see. So that's what I said. Just start off somewhere and see what happens.
We'll do that. Only new friends can take part in this.
Well, again, so you
know what they are doing.
You decide it. Okay, Charles, you decide whatever you want. Okay. I just watch what the boys do. They don't deal with any of these ideas, and they're doing fine. What I see is that with what I'm presenting, I understand what's going on. I've looked at the whole playing field from what I've been through and etc. So I see that you have to be a risk taker. You have to be somebody that wants to see more than just their personal life. And so those are the people we're looking for, because really, those are the only people that are going to make it to the real universes. Everybody else is going to stay self-satisfied, even though they read the books and do the new you, whatever. Because most people will not recognize it, and that's not what it's all about. It's not even in their heart to do it. So again, with anything that we do, this is how I see it, but you can do it any way you want. You don't have to ask for my permission. You can create a membership if you want, however you want. I'm just suggesting it to do something, and that would start something, etc. So that's it. And there's nothing else to it. That's it. Just print the T-shirt, step one, hand them out to the new friends or other people that want them. Maybe someone else wants them because they like the all-natural environment and they like trees. Well, fine, here's a T-shirt. We'll sell you one for $5. Whatever. You create the idea, you do something. Again, you haven't even started it yet, so how do you know what's going to happen, you see? So a step at a time. Yeah, keep it simple.
Okay.